Question 6, web design, HTML. Whenever we work with the HTML and with the HTML editor, we always want to open up our web page in the browser. So by double clicking on it, we'll open it up in the browser and then minimize that, and then we're going to right click and say edit with Notepad++. Please make sure you have this on your computer. Okay, so that is the editor. We are going to start with 6.1. It says change the heading of the web page, useful applications, by using the following guideline. So over here 6.1, it tells you exactly where to go, and it says it wants the font to be Arial black and the color to be gray. So on this side I'm going to open up a font tab, and then the minute I've opened one up, I want to close the font tab. Okay, then inside here, the font Arial black, in order to put the font, the attribute I need to call on is face equals, open up my quotation marks, and then I type in Arial black, and then I close the quotation marks. So whenever we deal with these attributes, make sure it's always in the opening tag, and if it's a self-closing tag, make sure it's in the opening part of the tag, so the front part of the tag before the /. So here, this is the opening tag. As you can see when I click on it, there's the closing tag, and then we always put the attribute name first, followed by equals, and then your quotation marks, and inside the quotation marks the value. Now I'm not going to type the font tag again to add another attribute. I just click on space and I just go in with the next attribute called color. Now careful with this, in the exam it's spelled color the South African English way with the U. When you use the attribute in the HTML editor, make sure you spell it without the U. It's got to be the American spelling. Quotation mark, and they tell you to put in gray. So there we go, quotation mark, and that is done. So what I'm going to do is click on the save at the top here, and once I've done that, I'm going to go to my browser and refresh by pressing on F5. So there you can see the font has changed as well as the color. Now it says add a blue horizontal line after the heading. So after this heading here, they want a blue horizontal line. So let's go into our code. You will see there's the 6.2. So there the line is for you to add in your HR, which is horizontal rule, with your /. Now they want this to be blue. So we're going to say color equals quotation mark blue quotation mark. Remember I told you about self-closing tags? Here we go. This is a good example. That / is the closing part, so this needs to go in the opening part of the slash. It's on the left hand side of that /. Okay, so once that is done, Control and S to save, and then when I go into my web browser, I'm going to push F5, and there you see the blue line has appeared across the page. Insert the image 6 encode in the correct position to appear exactly like the images of the other paragraphs. So over here is 6.3. Let's first go look at the other paragraphs. You'll see here we have a picture in line with this paragraph, another picture in line with this paragraph. So here where it says encode is a beginners, we want the picture in there. Let's go find the images here. You will see there's the image there. So what I'm going to do is copy this image, because if they wanted to look exactly the same, here we need to say left align, we need to say width, we need to say height. So we're going to right click and copy, and then we're going to go to our question, which is question 6.3. So over here, in line with encode, we're going to right click and paste. Now, if I save this and go and view it, you will see that it's added a picture, but it's the wrong picture. Okay, so all we need to do now is change the name, but you can see that the sizes are all the same and the positioning is perfect. It needs to be exactly where it is. So all I need to do now is change the actual name of the picture. So they tell me to add the 6 encode. Now before I do that, I need to find out if it's a .jpeg or a .png. So I'm going to open up my data. Over there you can see the 6 encode is a JPEG file. So over here we've already got the JPEG. We're just going to delete the writing there and type in encode. Once I save, I go to my browser to check F5, and there I've got the correct picture. Alright guys, 6.4 says display the word intermediate in bold. Alright, so here where 6.4 is, read through until you find intermediate. There we go. So we're going to open up a bold tag, and at the end of the word we need to close it. Make sure to close it properly. If you don't close this tag, everything from here onwards will become bold. So we save it, and over here F5, and then you can see it's gone bold. Okay, 6.5 says insert the necessary tags to ensure that the table resembles the example shown below. So we need to go to 6.5. That's 6.5. Let's quickly go look at what the table looks like with this particular code in it. So there we go, we got advantages there. Then over here, disadvantages, doesn't look the same. Then we've got convenience. Over here we need to have addictive. Then here's time management, and it seems like there's no cell here, so we need to add in a cell with antisocial. Alright, so we know what it looks like, and we have the example in our textbook to fix it. So let's go look at the code. So over here we've got table heading, advantages, and now the disadvantage is in a cell that's called table data. So let's change this to a table heading as well. Alright, so doing that would have fixed the disadvantages. Push F5, and there we go. So we've got the first row looking exactly the way we want it. The second row, we've got convenience. We need to add in the addictive. So let's go do that now. So there's convenience. So inside here, we're going to type in addictive. And if you look, there is no closing tag. So let's close it. Table data. There we go. When we click on that, you'll see that one there. That's perfect. And then the row closes. So that's done correctly. Save. And we can go and preview. There we go. Okay, so that's done. Now the last one here, we've got time management. So we need to add the last little cell and say antisocial. So inside our code, let's go and have a look. Here we've got the table data. I'm going to open up a table data. I'm going to type in anti-social and then close table data. Now have a look here. This table data has an opening and closing tag. That is an opening and closing tag. And then this table row, you see it's not highlighted, so it's still hanging open. So what we need to do, push enter there, and then just add the closing tag for the table row. Alright, Control and S to save, F5, and there we've got the table looking like the table in the example. Now it says correct the mistake that has been made on the link and ensure that it appears like the example shown on the previous page. So if we go and look at the link, we've got here a link and then the address that it's linked to, and they want over here to say, let's have a look on the previous page, other apps. So let's type in other apps. So that goes between the anchors. So that's the writing that becomes the hyperlink text that we click on. And then over here, link is not the correct attribute. href stands for hyperlink reference. That is what we need to have there. Okay, and if we control an S to save and go and view it, there we go. Looks like the example in your test. And then the last thing, it says add the following list to the bottom of the website. First thing you need to notice is that it is an unordered list. So the tags we need to open are the UL tags for unordered list. And the minute I open them, make sure that you close them. Okay, so once they're closed, I'm going to come in between them and then push enter. Just tab them so that they lined up and it's easy to read the code. And then over here, we're going to add in the list entries LI, and we're going to close LI, and then I'm going to basically just copy and paste. So there's two list entries. The first one is going to say quote, and the second will say recolor. Alright, so now that that is done, I'm going to control and S to save and show you what it looks like. Okay, so far that's what it looks like. We're getting there, it's close. You'll notice though that the bullet is round and we are looking for a square bullet. So we need to go change the attribute type. So in here where it says UL for unordered list, we put space, add the attribute type equals square, close the quotation marks, save, and F5, and there it is, square. Alright guys, so that was the 20 marks for the website. We've been saving this along the way every time we check on the browser. So if you close the browser and close the HTML editor, you'll see they close without asking you to save, and that is it. Well done.